art versus brand, art versus advertising. For those who have followed my work over the last 10 years, what you may not know is that we finance all of the projects through the sales of my artworks. There have never been a brand, an NGO, or a sponsor behind it. 3 years ago, when I won the TED Prize, my wish, or perhaps my question was, can art change the world? Well, so I launched the Inside Art Project, a global participative art project, allowing everyone to express themselves through their images. However, the deeper question was how to keep myself and maintain my integrity in the eyes of the storm. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was a big risk for me. But Inside Out began to go around the world, to all kinds of people, all kinds of purposes. And it was always for free. But what I'm the most proud of is that we always did it without being sponsored, or having a brand, or having to say, you shouldn't think like this, or breathe like that, or wear those hats and glasses. We all know that many artists have always collaborated with brands. Nothing new there. It's actually a French dude who started it, at a time where Vancouver was still a city of less than 10,000 inhabitants. His name was Toulouse-Lautrec. And then many other great artists did it. Cindy Sherman for MAC, Annie Leibovitz here for Vuitton, Helmut Newton for Lavazza, Andy Warhol for Apple. I think Andy did pretty good after that. But I know what you're going to say. What's wrong? I mean, the artist doesn't get hurt, and he makes tons of cash. Right. But if you follow my work, it's probably because you like the way I see life and society. So if I take advantage of your support to team up with a company that had complete different goals, to sell you sneakers, perfume, or underwear, it wouldn't be fair. That is called delusion, and I don't want to do that. However, sometimes when art goes against advertising, it can do great things. This is another campaign of Lavazza by David LaChapelle. It's not really the work of David LaChapelle that thrills me here, but what came out of it. I don't know if you're familiar with the work of a French artist named Zeus, a bit crazy, I agree. When he saw this campaign on Alexanderplatz in Berlin, he decided to cut out and kidnap the girl and wrote, "Motherfucker, visual kidnapping, pay now." Then he cut the girl, take her, send it back to Lavazza, and say, "If you don't pay now, I'm going to kill her." Like, well, man, this is a bit intense, I agree, but I told him, chill down. This is just a piece of vinyl. Give it back. And he kept traveling with her in different countries and then say, "Oh, I'm going to kill her if they don't pay." I think they pay at the end, but, through a museum. Wim Delvoye also did a funny thing. He found a way to, put Louis Vuitton on a pig. He tattooed it. No, an animal was an arm in the process of this artwork, actually. He was begging for it. And, tattoos get chicks. This image of Richard Prince makes me laugh also, because a photographer actually got paid a few $1,000s to photograph this campaign for Marlboro, and Richard Prince rephotographed it and sold it for $1 million. But I guess that's the power of art, The value of an image would always worth more in the art world than in the art world. Many times I got asked by brands, if to use my work, and this is an image I've pasted in Los Angeles. And Volkswagen actually called me and said, "Can we put a new Beetle right in front of your pasting?" I said, "Oh, wow, let me think. No." Then 1 month later, a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, man, you're in that new Beetle advertising." I was like, "What? Let me check." I go online. I say, "Whoa, sounds weird. Let me see closer." And then, actually, they replaced the image on the very same wall where I did the pasting by a fake girl they found on Get Image. That's getting too far for me. But it triggers a question. One day, a luxury brand calls me, and they wanted to put one of my pics in one of their commercials. And as I refused, the guy told me, "How come you put something illegally in the street, and then you tell me I don't have the right to film it? What's wrong with you, man?" He was right. I felt conflicted about it. I cannot lie. Some of my projects are becoming a bit expensive to make, So why wouldn't I get the money from a brand? We both use the street, we both use images, and we both have the same target. So why don't we work together? Well, let me explain you why I choose not to. When I do my work, I have freedom. My only limit is my responsibility. Brands have constraint. brands have to test their message before it goes out there on the street. Because brand cannot fail. Art can. Art can only fail or surprise. But when art surprise, it's real surprise. Even though real surprise can be really good or really bad. I do fail sometimes. I do fail because I have the duty to fail. If I don't risk enough, I wouldn't be a real artist. I wouldn't be always searching for limits, take risk. After all this, don't tell me that I've become a brand, because brand is about intellectual property, copyright, and brand identity. These are things they hold on to at all costs. To give them away is suicide. After starting my TED project 3 years ago, we went against every marketing rule in the book. I gave away my process and give the tool to copy my work. I allowed everyone to share their message. The project became available to all, and they were able to do more in 3 years than I could have done in a lifetime. The impact of the action was amazing because it was done by locals without me. I couldn't have gone to Afghanistan, Ukraine, Malawi, Colombia, or even North Pole and do what they did. And why would I? So no, an artist is not a brand. A brand role is to be consistent and predictable. The artist is trying to transform his time instead of reflecting it. So his role is to be ever-changing, evolving, and to challenge the status quo. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, JR. I just want to keep you for one moment. I really understand that the right and the necessity to fail, I think that you have to protect that at all costs. But I'm curious, are there ways for brands, companies to actually work with artists in that can't they both kind of succeed with each other?
Yeah, I think actually they can. Many great artists did it, and that was just a couple of examples. I just think they have to think of the way they do it. Instead of sponsoring it, they have to commission it, because what's important in the artist is his integrity. So they have to think like a scientist or like a journalist, where you can't actually get over his integrity. You have to, curate, like commission the work, but let the artist, create it. You can't get in that part. That's the only part. If you take it, you basically, took off the most important soul of the artist, and that's why, a lot of artists feel they're selling their soul when they do it.
Right. All right. JR, thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you.
We will follow you wherever you go. Thank you.